Hey everyone, Dan from fpgeeks.com here, and today I'm going to do a review of the Tree Rings Natural History Fountain Pen. When we open the box, we find a lot of information. First is the business card for Dave Wager, the man behind Tree Ring Pens. Then we have a product care and information sheet. Now there's one specific thing I'd like to point out here, and that's the return policy. It says if the pen does not meet your expectations, simply return it for a replacement or a full refund. Now, I don't know about you, but that makes me much more comfortable when purchasing a pen that I've never used before. Next is an information card that outlines important historical events during the life of the tree. On the back is some information about restoring old-growth forest and the project behind Tree Ring Pens. Moving on, we have some tissue paper padding another smaller box that has our prize inside. There's a couple of things that slide out. One is a long international cartridge. The other is a uniquely shaped wooden case that definitely has some lasting appeal. I'm not just going to toss this out like the more common and much cheaper clamshell boxes that we get with so many other pens. Now, inside is the pen, of course, and it's wrapped in more tissue paper. Dave definitely wants to make sure your pen arrives safely, and I thank him for that. Taking a closer look at the case, when it's opened, it actually acts as a stand for the included information card. I don't know how often this will actually be used, but if you work somewhere where you think others would be interested in it, then it's definitely a cool piece to help show off your pen. Okay, enough about the case. Let's move on to the pen. The first thing I noticed was how short the cap was in relation to the barrel, which makes sense because the pen is really all about the wood that went into making the barrel. The wood for these pens come from low-value trees from forest thinning projects. Some old-growth forests contain trees more than 300 years old, and the growth has become unnaturally dense. This situation can create the potential for catastrophic fires. By thinning the forest, they're brought back to a more resilient condition. 5% of the sales of tree ring pens are donated to organizations working to restore North America's old-growth forest and to help raise awareness for these projects. Each tree ring pen is made from a section of the tree that includes the pith and the bark, giving you the entire timeline of the pen. Lasered into the barrel near the pith is the year the tree was born, 1884 for this one, and near the bark is the year the pen was harvested, which would be 2011. The barrel has been polished to perfection and makes it very easy to see the rings. Taking a closer look at the cap, we can see that it, in addition to all the other hardware, has a black titanium coating that looks great. The clip has a pleasing design, but most importantly, it just works. It has good tension that will keep the clip right where you place it. And then there's some more detailing on the top of the cap. Taking a look at the section is easy enough because the cap is removed in 2.5 rotations, and it can also be posted in only half a turn. Now, if you're as OCD as I am, you'll appreciate the fact that the clip lines up with the nib slit. Speaking of the nib, what we have here is a number 5 stainless steel nib in a fine medium-ish width. Personally, I think the nib is just way too small for this pen. One reason I'd like to see the nib be a little bit larger is because the logo that is laser engraved on the pen is so small you can barely see it. If you like pens with thin sections, you'll probably really like this pen. Don't worry so much about the threads because they're of a flat variety that are actually very smooth. The first time I went to fill this, I tried removing the entire section, but only the smooth part is what can be removed. This can be troublesome at times because it's such a small area that if your fingers are the slightest bit moist, then you'll have a problem getting a good grip on it. But once you do, you'll have full access to the Cartridge Converter system. Which brings me back to that long international cartridge. I'm so glad Dave includes one of these because it's a great option if you're looking to maximize ink capacity. Putting the pen back together and getting a proper grip on it, we can see how it sits in the hand. As it turns out, my grip position falls right on the step from the section to the barrel. Now I could move it down, but my fingers slip a little bit on the threads. If I held the pen so that my thumb and index finger touched, then this might work, but that just feels weird to me. Now, alternatively, moving further up the barrel is only a slightly better option. I like it a little more, but my grip is too far away from the nib for me to have any kind of control that I really prefer. This is something that you'll need to keep in mind if you're considering this pen, and with Dave's awesome return policy, it shouldn't be too much of an issue. Other than that minor inconvenience with the grip, the pen sits in my hand very comfortably. The barrel has good size to it with enough weight to make it feel like the quality writing instrument that it really is. So how's it perform? The short answer is very well. The nib is incredibly smooth, and I was thoroughly impressed with it straight out of the box. The flow is slightly wet, which I think is preferable to slightly dry, and the entire time I used the pen, I never experienced a scratch, hard start, or any kind of skipping. Now, being a stainless steel nib, you should expect it to be as rigid as a nail. I mean, there's zero give here. Overall, I was really impressed by this pen. I think if you're at all interested, then definitely check out treeringpens.com for all the variations and personalization options available. Also, be sure to stop by fpgeeks.com for a full written review. Oh, and don't forget to
indulge